You know, I was reading in Deuteronomy 32, and it says here in verse 21, they made me jealous with what is no God. They have provoked me to anger with their idols. Lily, you pointed out that image of what people think Leviathan looks like. And it says here in verse 22, a fire is kindled in my anger, and it burns in the depths of Sheol, devours the earth in its increase, and sets on fire the foundations of the mountains. You have dealt with this dynamic of thinking that, Leviathan is fill in the blank, and you don't realize the reality of what Leviathan actually is, especially what it was created to be. When you have the dragon revelation, it's chapter 12, where he says, now war arose in heaven, Michael and his angels fighting against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back, but he was defeated. And that was no longer any place for them in heaven. Oh, here we go. Verse 4, chapter 12. A great dread dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns, and on his name 7 diadems. His tail swept down a third of the stars of heaven and cast them on the earth. Stars representing the heavenly hosts, also parallel to the angelic armies. If the enemy swept down a third of, generally speaking, everything, that means he has a third of the Leviathan. Where are the other 2/3, though?
In heaven?
In heaven with the Lord. So, as terrifying as the Leviathan that rebelled or fell or rejected or followed him, how awesome a warrior are the Leviathan that stay with the Lord. So we have access, provided we're not drawn aside and worshiping those things which are not God's. We're following him, walking with him, desiring a relationship with him. He gives us access to his entire realm of creation to work with in accordance with our design. So if we have need of the Lord to provide us with resources and Leviathan gets involved, which is why we talk about the positive as well as the negative, then he's going to give us access to that as well. So it really helps us to have this thing called a personal relationship with not a book, not an institution, but with the man. So that picture is a very, very interesting and good representation, I think, from one angle of what this thing looks like. But it also should provoke you to ask yourself and ask him, what do I have access to, Lord? What are you giving me? We think it's ho-hum, my chores and my friends. Emmaus, you're leaning on my aloe vera plant, please get off of it. But it's more than my chores and my friends. It's my reality and my destiny. It's my reality and my destiny. What is your reality? What is your destiny? What are you leaning into and taking advantage of, and what are you not? Because he has benefits and kids and love and tenderness and an adventure for you. 90 to 95% of believers do not partake of that adventure because they're waiting to be told, because they want to be ruled rather than lead. And Loki said freedom is life's great lie. He was incorrect to a degree, because there are a lot of people that do want to be ruled. But we were not designed to be ruled. We were designed to rule with him. Unfortunately, God can't make people join him in the fullness of what he has for them. And we would rather be content with a small faith, a small understanding, a small set of prospects, and a small revelation, and a small relationship that we can control. And he's waiting for us to step into bigness and a big relationship that we can't control with a God that we cannot control, and maybe a God that we cannot understand, which is why he places the reality of Leviathan in the book of Job, because Job was dealing with a God that was too big to understand. He wants depth of love, he wants understanding, he wants freedom, which means he's also going to give you the risk of free will, and he's going to make choices of his own, and he's not going to be somebody that can be controlled, which is why most people that want a God that they can control never grow in their relationship to the full extent of what they were made to be. They grow into something that they want to control because they only feel safe when they're in control, and unfortunately, being with him means letting go of your control. Even if you've been dramatically wounded. And I say this as somebody who has been dramatically wounded. I would love to be able to control stuff, but you know what? I'm not. Peaches, do you have any thoughts?
But there are things that I love to control too that I can't, and he doesn't want me to, and it helps me rely stronger on, lean not on my own understanding, but to trust him completely, because that's where I end up every time. I've got to trust him, and it's hard, and it burns my flesh, and I grow, and I'm better from it.
What's that passage, Pam?
Proverbs 3, 5, and 6.
Again, relationship. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Do not lean on your understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him. He will direct your paths. You can't control him. You were not made to control him. You were made to walk with him. You were also made not to be controlled, not to be manipulated, not to be led, but to rule and reign, which it has danger and it has risk. The question is, are you going to choose the risk? You choose a relationship with a God you can't control, and you also choose to be part of a relationship and not be controlled. But there's risk and danger. Because you have to step out into a place where you don't have understanding. And the Lord brings along a Leviathan to help you along, or whatever the case. Or he gives you some understanding about something that's in his depths. And oftentimes when we're in his depths, we're out of our depth. So, be at peace. We love you. Consider these things and just allow him to show you the way he has for you. Love you guys. Bye-bye.